Begin Podfix Network transmission in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the side chicks. I'm Yummy.
And I'm Dark Phoenix.
We are women of a certain age. We are more than caretakers, though. We still have desires, dreams, aspirations.
And we know that we still fucking matter. And when we get together, sometimes ish gets crazy.
Oh, yeah. We talk about sex, all different kinds.
We talk about pop culture.
Oh, and guess what? We talk about getting older.
You got to know it. But we're fearless.
And we fearlessly push the envelope.
Yes. So follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and even Pinterest at Yummy Fearless.
Listen to us on any listening platform. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, iHeart, Good Pods, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Find us on yummyfearless.com for bonus content. Welcome to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the side chicks. I'm Yummy.
I'm Dark Phoenix.
And today we have a very special guest.
Today, baby. Baby, we got a special guest in the house.
I'm very excited.
Tell them who it is, Yummy.
Big Barbie!
Big Barbie!
Big Barbie!
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for coming back.
Man.
This has been a 9-month thing.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes, and for those of you who may not remember, Big Barbie was on one of our most popular shows.
Big time.
How to Fuck a Fat Chick.
Yep.
Yes.
And we've been wanting her back on for 9 months.
Yep. I've been looking forward to this ever since, man. We could have talked for 3 hours on that episode, so we had to have her back.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I loved being on the show. I loved having the conversation about how to fuck a fat chick. You know, very important shit in life.
Yes.
You know, we're all
priorities, man.
Yes, we're all not one size. So I was excited to be on the last show, and I'm even more excited to be on the show. And I'm ready. You know, let's get it cracking. Questions with a real bitch, you know?
Yes, questions with a real bitch.
With a real bitch. Oh, man, I've been looking forward to this.
Let's let all the tea out, honey.
We can ask you anything?
You can ask me anything you want to ask me.
Anything? And
anything.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Y'all heard her.
But can you first, what is a real bitch, though?
To me, a real bitch is a woman that's about her business. A real bitch is a woman that's authentic to herself. A real bitch is a queen. A real bitch is not a hater. A real bitch just understands the game and plays it how she's supposed to play it, but she still is humble and has respect for others. And, you know, she's just a good human being. Like, just because you're a real bitch don't mean that you got to be nasty. And that's where these young bitches fucking the game up. Because it's a lot of young bitches. Now, I'm 33, but it's a lot of young women who think that they're a real bitch. You got to be a nasty bitch. You got to have a bad attitude, bitch. No, a real bitch is just a woman that's real about her business. And, you know, she respects other women. And real bitches recognize other real bitches or other real women, if we want to be classy about it.
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's not that hate. It's like queens uplifting queens. You know, it's you know, real bitches, the misconception is a real bitch is ghetto, nasty, and trashy, but it's really actually the opposite. A real bitch is supposed to be a G on every level. You can't play a real bitch. You know, you a professional with your shit. You know, you're intelligent. You know what I mean? Like,
Come on, millennial. Talk that talk.
Right. And truth be told, you got ratchet bitches who think they real bitches, but they fucking the game up. You know, or you got hoes who think they real bitches, but they fucking the game up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just being well-rounded. It's being truthful and authentic with yourself and being well-rounded overall and helping to inspire other women. You ain't got to be nasty to keep it real or be real. You just got to know how to. It's just about being a good human being at the end of the day.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, I consider myself a real bitch. What about you,
Proud.
Darkness?
I'm proud to say I'm a real bitch.
Listen, you should. You should. Any real bitch should be proud of who she is.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
none at all. Okay, so let's get into the questions. Dark Phoenix, you want to start?
Okay, so I want to get your take on. I'm gonna go into pop culture for a minute. So you were our special guest on the How to Fuck a Fat Chick episode, and something has been in the news recently that I really want. So, I don't know if you know who Ari Spears is. Do you know who Ari Spears is? He's
Yes.
a comedian,
Yes.
and he made some disparaging comments about a supple and sensual and talented chick who might call herself a fat chick.
Yeah.
She's very talented young lady by the name of Lizzo. And I wanted to quote what he said. He was asked about Lizzo and songwriting in a video interview, and he said he can't get over that she looks like the shit emoji, and she's got a very pretty face, but she keeps showing her body off. And then that women don't keep it real with their sisters because, we need to be helping her know that she needs to lose weight. So he said women are hypocrites and that we need to be more real with one another, like telling a friend to put down the eclair. Now I know he was joking and everything. How do you feel about that? How did you take that?
I'm gonna be honest. I was so disappointed with Ari Spears on that. I was disappointed, and I'm gonna tell you why. To me, Ari Spears has been one of the funniest people. He's always been one of my favorite comedians. I mean, there was in his Mad TV prime, there was no nigga that was funnier than Ari Spears.
I loved him, yeah.
And so for him to not only be at a place where whatever is going on, if you willing to tarnish your own legacy like that, then you stupid. That's number one. That's coming from a real bitch. That's number one. Number two, the thing about it is he could have did that shit with love, whether it was a joke or not. This is an African-American woman, a black woman that is doing revolutionary shit right now. The problem that people have with she doesn't meet the stereotypical body beauty standard, and she's winning on every level.
Exactly.
And what is fucking people's heads up. People are not understanding why is she winning. The thing about it is a real bitch knows, and real people know, real men know, people who really got some intelligence about themselves. God decides who wins.
Yes.
That's the first thing people don't understand. This is a culture where cancel culture. You can't cancel nobody. Only God can cancel somebody. This is what people need to understand. So for me, Ari Spears, he could have handled that completely different. He didn't have to say nothing about her body.
They didn't even ask him about that. They asked him about her music.
Yeah. He could have just said, you know what? Great music. If he felt some type of way about her true well-being, then he could have slid in her DMs and said, you know what, Lizzo, I'm a big fan of you. I like your music. I want to, I'm feeling some type of way. He didn't have to do that as a public display. The third thing I didn't like about that is that it's another opportunity to put a black woman down in a world where, whether you understand Black women's plight or not, the reality of it is that it is obvious to everyone who women who are even non-Black that Black women face a certain level of scrutiny that other women don't face. So I felt that really what that was very bitch ass of him.
It was.
A real man wouldn't have did that.
And he was going for the laugh. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I think he was going for the laugh, and it did not land well. I don't know who even laughed at it, but I consider Lizzo a real bitch, and she clapped back at the VMAs
in a perfect way.
What did she say? She said,
because she's winning.
Yeah, she said, "I'm winning, ho."
and that's just what it is, And I just feel like it's an example of men needing to do better. And then I was listening to some other people's takes and opinions on it on YouTube, different bloggers and YouTube bloggers and stuff like that. And they had similar sentiments where it was like, but you ain't looking all of that yourself.
Right.
How you dissing somebody and you ain't looking like that? So I think what Lizzo should do, if she was, I assume she's a real bitch, but for me, if I was in her shoes, I would keep it moving, keep winning, keep working on me, and letting God have the final say.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Well said.
That was uncalled for. I don't understand why he needed to do that. I feel like maybe he got a secret crush on her and wish he could have her and he can't.
I promise you, it seems like it. I mean, he did say she was pretty. She had a pretty face, but he just was going for the laugh. And finally, she said, "Big bitch is winning." So best revenge is the paper. So well said.
But it's definitely a double standard because Aries is not in shape
and overweight. I mean, and
he looks like his blood pressure is so high. Like to me, when I look at him, he looked like his blood pressure is high.
A lot of people came to her defense and came for him and talked about how he looked. I'm like, see, they didn't have to do that. Mike Epps talked about, like, you look sick. Like, why are you talking about this?
And
right, since you brought it up.
And see, here's the thing about people. See, that's karma. Because if he wouldn't have brought her looks up,
right,
Mike Epps wouldn't have brought him up. You attacked that woman's looks. And I want men to understand and be a little bit more sensitive. Even us women together, like looks, that's not what God cares about.
He Talk said, about it.
I'm not trying to get too spiritual, but in the Bible, it says, man looks at the outside. I look at the heart. He don't
care
about that.
Mm-hmm. Come on, talk about it.
So if we're gonna be if you're gonna, as a real bitch, I gotta express the truth. And the truth is that Aries Spears was out of line for that. He didn't have to go there. What he need to do is sit and get himself together and ask him, why the hell am I not touring and on comedy shows and doing what the fuck I'm supposed to do and talking about that's what he need to be asking himself.
Worry about yourself.
Worry about yourself.
Aries.
Reflect on that. Reflect on that.
And what? I did my own personal research after, because it really was like, I really just felt for Lizzo. And I did the research on it. And Lizzo is selling out Madison Square Garden.
Hello.
She's on tour every 2 days. This nigga's talking about her for what? Go get you some work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go get you some work, man.
Right.
Aries Spears was out of line for that. I wish him the best. May the Lord be with him on his journey. But with questions from a real bitch, my answer to him was that's some bitch ass shit, and he need to focus on him.
And that's that on that.
And that's that. Okay, so I have a question about getting flued out.
Oh my God,
flued out.
Get flued out. So there's been a lot of stuff on social media lately of men where they record women that they flew out. who didn't want to come off the ass and they be mad, that they didn't get the sex after they done spent all this money. So how do you feel about if a man is buying you a plane ticket and putting you up in a hotel and buying your food and in some cases even taking them shopping? Do you think it's fair for him to also expect sex? And do you think it's realistic for women to really think somebody is going to spend money on them, that amount of money on them, and not expect sex? What's the millennial view on that, or what do you think?
That's a good one.
Let me tell you something. This whole flued out culture, bitches been bragging about getting flued out. So it's the first time where they asked and got pegged down a bit. All these bad bitches, I'm getting flued out. Your man flying me out. No, bitch, he wants some ass from you. Okay, that's the first thing.
Right.
Now the second thing, for these men who are flying women out, here's the thing, brother. You got to ask yourself, is it really worth the investment? Is it worth it? Is it worth the investment? Okay, I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to pay for that, The problem why some of these flued out relationships ain't working, these flued out ass relationships ain't working, is because there's clearly a misunderstanding in the agreement. Number one, bitch, didn't you? Well, maybe that's too real, but
come on, talk about it now.
But y'all opening up some worms with me. But did the man say, okay, baby, I'm gonna do this, and this, and this, and you gonna have to give me some, good stuff or a vagina in return? Is he a real nigga and did he say that up front, or a real man and say that up front? Or is he trying to do all that to finesse the pussy? Yeah. Now, if you're trying to finesse the pussy, then guess what? That's your fault, because you should have kept it 100 and been like, look, I want to have sex. This is what I'm gonna do. let it be an exchange.
Yep. Period.
Mhm.
And if the chick is trying to, and it's the same on her part. If the woman is trying to finesse out to get the cash, and he expecting you to give him some ass, well then that's your fault. That's your fault. Like I saw the video with the girl. He was like, you ain't gonna give me none, and I ain't even got a plane ticket. I ain't even got my way, because clearly y'all didn't have an understanding of the agreement. If y'all want to have a pimp and hoe or a flued out relationship, you gotta be in agreement.
Right.
Prime example. Can't no man hold me. Can't no man. If a pimp came to me right now and said, "This is what I want you to do," I'd be like, "Get the fuck out my." Now, if a man come to me and say, "You know what? This is what I want to do. I want to take care of you this way. Do you agree?" We have choices.
Yep.
That's just the flued out bad. The flued out bad situations are just because they don't have an agreement, a proper agreement with each other for an equal exchange that they're both satisfied with. Next.
I agree. I agree 100% with that.
Amen.
Honey, talking about flued out. I'm so sick of flued out. Yeah, you flued out and got your ass on.
Right. and back in the airport with no money to fly home.
Men too. You're right, Yummy, but it's for the men too. The men too. Every rap song.
Yeah.
I'm fluing out. I flew you out. I flew you out. No, you got flued out and got con. That's what.
Yep. There it is.
Yep. Exactly.
Beat you at your own game.
Exactly. Yep. That's the truth. They need to just keep it a buck and be like, "This is what I'm looking for. You gonna do it before I buy this ticket or not?"
Exactly.
It's a little chess match.
Okay.
Checkmate, man.
Checkmate. Amen.
Amen.
All right.
You got one yet, Dark Phoenix?
No, you go. You go.
Okay. So what have you been up to lately in terms of your love life?
Honey, my love life. Oh my God. You know, everybody wants to know what's going on in Big Barbie's love life. You know, the last episode, How to Fuck a Fat Chick, it had everybody curious. You know,
Yes.
It just was like, did you talk about me? I talked about some of y'all niggas. But to be honest, my love life, you know, I was recently engaged. I had to, you know, we had to depart on some things. And you know what? I'm always been complicated for me. I'm a love girl. I'm a relationship girl. But you know, I'm being honest. A lot of these niggas don't want to do right, and that's coming from a real bitch. So you know, I'm learning to love me. That I can do, and I would recommend for a lot of women, is to love ourselves.
Yeah.
It's a lot of healing that needs to go on before people enter relationships. People be a whole fucked up individual talking about marriage, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
So Big Barbie's love life, I just been, you know, like, it's been complicated, but I just been like trying to just heal.
Okay.
And you know, I believe in love. I know it's gonna happen. And I think this is a message that a lot of people need to hear. Like, just because you go through breakups doesn't mean life is over, but the real relationship is with yourself. And I know it sounds cliche, but when you get to a point where it's like, you know what, I love me. And I'm doing the work, whether it's going to therapy, whether it's sitting aside and reflecting on what went wrong in your relationship, or also not being quick to give it up. Let's say if you're in a marriage or situation and it's, you know, you have your moments, it's going to counseling together. You know, my ex didn't want to, you know, he didn't really want us to go to counseling together. So that's when I knew maybe he wasn't committed to making it work as much. So, you know, you gotta love yourself first, and then you can, you know, bond with somebody else. Because this love thing is deep. It's soul ties, it's life ties, it's financial ties, you know. So yeah, I just been working on me.
Okay.
And my theory is, in my life, for me to be with a man, he has to fall in line with what's going on. He needs to accept the fact that I'm a boss. He needs to expect the fact I don't feel like cooking every night.
Hello.
Amen. Come on.
You know, sometimes, damn, can we get some meat? He got to understand, you know, you want your feet rubbed, I want my feet rubbed sometimes. You know, you want back massages, I want a back massage. You know, you don't feel like driving, then I'll drive. You know, it's equality. You know, and I can't, you know, a lot of relationships right now, it's particularly, You know, a lot of men right now want relationships that are servitude.
Damn.
Damn.
Hell no.
A servant.
Damn. So even young men?
That's what I was just thinking.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. You
Sons
know,
of-
or they just want, you know, relationships sometimes where it's all about the fucking and the doing and you know, bone me and let me go about my day. You ain't gonna use my vagina as a lottery slot. You ain't breaking off no bread, you ain't breaking off no cheese, you ain't helping me elevate. Get the fuck on.
Hey, okay.
So you know,
Talk about it.
You know, I think a lot of women, we beat ourselves down. Oh, well, why I ain't got no man? No, because you ain't got no man because you ain't tolerating that bullshit. And this is coming from a real bitch. A lot of bitches tolerate bullshit. And I just ain't the bitch to tolerate bullshit.
I feel you.
You know, you gotta, I think the game right now is missing, is understanding exchange. You know, we in a culture where it's gimme, me, me, do. I need a man that if I got half on these bills, you got half on these bills. The problem is people want to come up off one another. I can't have no man coming up off of me and you ain't helping me with the come up. What type of the game? What part of the game is this?
Say it.
So another thing is, you feel me? And another thing is men can't meet. A lot of times men can't handle a woman that's just as a boss as them. It's equal. I had a man that told me I run the show.
Wow.
I run this.
Was he 75?
Right.
No, I run the show.
Huh.
You don't run nothing but your motherfucking mouth.
You gotta hear that.
But out of both of us, not to cut my, you know, the man I was seeing down, but out of both of us, clearly I'm the bigger boss. So you can't run shit when it come to me because I'm winning. And you got to understand that we both gonna win and we gonna win together. But it's you know, it's just or right now in the culture, a lot of men just want a lot of different women. He may treat you good, but he's treating Becky, Susan, Maria, Tiffany, this and that one better.
Yep.
Or not better, but the same lane. Okay, what you? I don't need no nigga that got 4 or 5 other bitches. What I'm gonna do with that?
Right.
They fucking the game up. And if people understood one partner, one person, find what you truly looking for, pray for that individual, boss up together, our community would start building. It would stack more. We would have more wealth. But you know,
can't argue with that.
You got people out here fucking the game up.
Right. Yeah, you need some reciprocity.
Speak on it, Yummy.
Okay, you need some reciprocity and you need your equal, or at least someone approaching what your equal is. So you and I were having a pretty long discussion around older women from older generations.
Yeah.
Always trying to tell younger women the game, so to speak.
Yeah.
And how it comes off real wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't land well.
Yeah.
And I kind of like wanted to talk about that a little bit. So we were talking about the influencer Ari
Fletcher.
Okay.
She's a influencer from Chicago, and she sort of got her start because she used to date the rapper G Herbo.
Correct.
But they broke up, and she turned that little relationship into being a very successful influencer. Right. And so more recently, she started dating the rapper Moneybagg Yo.
Correct.
And so they very publicly give each other very extravagant gifts.
Yes.
And of late, one of the gifts that he gave her, which was like a Lambo truck or something, there were reports that the gift had been repossessed.
Oh boy. Okay.
Because they broke up. And one of the gifts that she gave him was almost 29 acres of land.
Oh my goodness.
She gave that man land. Said, from your ancestors, baby. I love you so much. I'm gonna get your ass some ancestor land.
Right. For which is major. And so even when she did it, older women were saying that's not a good idea to do for your boyfriend. At least let that be your husband.
And say who it was.
It was Vivica Fox, and I think the ladies from The Real also
Okay.
said that.
Okay.
So Ace was, I'll take that out. Big Barbie.
Don't worry about it. I'm
Okay.
Ace too, because I'm one of the Big Barbies, one of the coolest motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, come on. So what's your take on that, and how, you know, old women like to come in and be all, don't do this, young lady, and
Yeah. You know what? Okay, this is, I understand what you're saying, because right now in our generation, whether you're white, black, or whatever, there's always been the thing of the sexy hot young girl dating the bad boy, and the older generation of women have something to say about it, or something to say about your choices. That's always been in effect. I mean, from the beginning of time.
yeah.
I think in this situation, let me just say this. I think all parties are involved are good people. You know, I don't have anything against them. I think Ari, I'm proud of Ari for what she did after her breakup. You know, Ari seems to be she just seems to me, my opinion, to be a different type of breed in a good way, in the sense that, you know, she just hard with it. She just about her business. I think Ari's a real bitch, and I think she did right by Moneybagg Yo, in the sense, you know, she's probably paying for these gifts outright. She's probably, you know, in love with him, and, you know, showing him. I mean, I've never heard a woman giving a nigga some land, so she get kudos.
Yeah.
I mean, whether somebody told her, whether she thought of it, she's like, I'm gonna do something out the box and give this nigga some land. So she was really fighting for that nigga. Like that's how you know a woman loves a man, when she gives him land.
Mm-hmm.
However,
You think he appreciated it?
He better. Well, I think so. Based off the video I saw, and then I decided to try to research how much that was. That probably could have been a $300,000 purchase.
Oh, I believe it.
Because with the amount, how much the land cost in that area, so she spent at least $100,000. I believe minimum for that.
Wow.
And so I think it's a beautiful gesture. I think that was a beautiful gesture to show her love, to show, you know, how he possibly makes her feel. I think the issue that people are having with it is that a gift for her seems to be not as legitimized, or in, you know, I think that's the uproar. Like, oh, you know, your Lambo getting taken back. And she commented on it. She said, you know, I don't, she's like, y'all are stupid or whatever. I don't have time for it or whatever, you know, basically saying you don't even know what's going on, based off her reaction. So I can't judge the situation. The only thing that I would say is, if I was in her position and I gave a nigga some land and you bought me a Lambo that you take it back, nigga, fuck you.
Okay.
Or I would break up with your ass for a moment, but see that love come in, and, you know, I'm a real bitches, you know, your nigga can be your weak spot, your man can be your weak spot. So, you know, I mean, even me, I'm not gonna be fake about it. Let me tell you okay, if we had no emotions, let's take the emotions out of it. If a nigga bought me a car that got taken away, that wasn't fully bought outright, and I spend $100,000 on land, nigga, buy.
Can you get our land back?
Right.
Can I get my land back? That's the hashtag. Can I get my land back?
Right.
That's number one. Dark Phoenix, I'm feeling you on that. Can I get my land back? Number two, hell, I walk around with a t-shirt. Can I get my land back?
Okay.
Okay. Number two, though, but that's without emotion. That would be, can I get my land back? You know, and I'm done with your ass, because that lets me know you a fake ass, sneaky ass nigga.
Yeah.
If I buy you a gift outright, this is like going to Macy's, and I give both of y'all ladies, for the appreciation being on the show, a $2,500 ring, and y'all thinking I bought it outright, and yet I'm supposed to make the payments, and then you getting bill collector notice saying about the ring. I need my fucking ring. That's some dirty shit.
Right.
And so for me, if there was no emotions, the way I would handle it, as far as Ari, if there was no emotions, I would say, you know what, nigga, I'm gonna need my land back, or I'm
Yeah.
So I have a question. Did Ari is Ari the one who didn't like Vivica saying that, or was it other young people saying that?
Ari didn't like it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she didn't like it.
Because at the time things was sweet. So imagine you didn't, your boo, you thinking your nigga done bought you a car outright. Ooh, he done bought you a car. He bought me a car. And I'm feeling good and I'm about him land. We in a good space right now. And I got this old bitch in the game talking about you shouldn't do that. The first thing a young bitch gonna say, mind your fucking business.
Right.
But what Vivica said was possibly true.
I was just about to say that. Was she right?
The game is, you don't necessarily gift a man that level of gift unless he's your husband. You know what I mean? And so it's a complicated situation. But my point is, one, if she had no emotions for this man, I would be like, hashtag give my land back. Give me my land back. And I don't want to be with you no more because you a fraudulent, fake ass man. You don't buy me no gift. See, that's some shit I would have checked him on immediately. Why would you buy me a car and you ain't pay for it outright? If you can't pay for my gift outright, then then get a smaller gift. Do what you can afford. I would appreciate that more. That's the conversation that me and him would have had back at the crib. I would have lit his ass up for that. Number two, not saying she didn't, but number two, now with emotions going on, they both probably mad at each other. I can't judge their situation. If she want to still talk to him, that's her business. You know what I mean? That's between her, him, and God. And the third thing, as far as younger women, it's also a lesson in understanding sometimes it's okay. It's okay to heed advice from women that more longer than you and have wisdom. It's okay. But I think older women or women that have been wiser, been in the game longer, need to understand is how your delivery is. You can't come at no young female in a disrespectful type tone. They're not going to listen to you. Not saying fair did that, but I think it's a connection with both. I think the old versus young debate should be this. Setting aside the Ari and situation, that's one point. But the second point is, I think that young women should be open to the advice of women who are wiser and who mean them no harm. They just live longer. They understand the game. They understand, how shit been going on. But I also think older women need to understand that young women also have to learn for themselves. Young women also need a gentler approach. There's so much pain in our community, just speaking specifically to the Black community. There's so much pain in our community between older women and the generations, and we have to be open to that level of pain and understand that it's not about, I'm gonna one up you, or it's not about that. It's about coming together and understanding that be of good instruction. The Bible says be of good instruction. You know what I mean? Like, older women supposed to lead by example so that younger women can follow that example. You don't bash down or beat down another woman. And I'm not saying Vivica did that. She did not. But I'm just saying, as far as the dynamic between older and the generations of Black women right now, it definitely needs to be more sensitive and handled with care a little bit more.
Oh, you just brought up a good point, though. You just brought up a good point, Big Barbie, about being an example, older women being an example, because, and this is no shade to Vivica, but if I'm being honest, if I'm being a real bitch, okay, Vivica doesn't have the best track record to me.
She has kissed a lot of frogs,
right, and has made a fool of herself a few times.
Especially for 50 Cent, baby.
So it's hard to take it.
And she was a woman that was older than Ari doing that.
Quite a bit.
Yes,
quite a bit.
She was fully grown.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I mean, I understand that younger women may not want to hear. When I was a younger woman, nobody could have told. Older chick couldn't have told me. I would have. I thought I knew everything. You always think you know everything, or you're like, I don't want to hear that shit until. A nigga then took back his Escalade. What did he buy her? A Lambo?
A Lambo truck.
And you done bought him first of all, to buy somebody some land, that's gangsta. That is a gangsta ass gift.
Okay.
Come on.
It is.
So she might have wanted to not give that to somebody that she's not like doesn't have a ring from, because that's akin to giving somebody. But I mean, he's got that. That's a generational good. Like he can have that. His children's children can benefit from that. You know,
and especially when she has a child.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? Real quick, the point I wanted to make about that, Dark Phoenix, you touched on something that. Oh God, what was it? About the gift that she gave him. The thing is, it's a gangster ass gift, and that's so true. The other thing is though, is that he did give her a ring. That's what it was. He did give her a ring.
Oh, he did?
Yes. He gave it a ring before she bought the land. Now, whether they engaged, I don't know. But here's the issue about rings and men. Really, us women, we want the ring. It's very powerful. That's a whole nother topic. But
we
want the ring. We want the ring. But let me tell you something. It's about the commitment.
Yes.
It's about the commitment. Is this man going to be faithful and loving towards me? Is he ready to settle down? And is he ready to be committed to what life has to bring us in our future? So just because a man gives you a ring and y'all engaged does not necessarily mean that he is committed in that situation.
Talk about it.
Right.
Two different things.
Two different things. He got to back that up with action. Prime example, I had a nigga gave me, now this is really telling the tea. I had a nigga come home and give me a fake ring that didn't even fit me. This nigga give me a cubic zirconium ring.
No.
Yummy knows about this because I called Yummy and told Yummy.
No.
And her jaw dropped. How you gonna be in love with me and give Big Barbie the G a fake ring? Let me tell you something about this. Listeners, ladies, listeners, men, whoever's listening to this right now, if somebody give you a cubic zirconium ring, they're serious. Yeah, I said what I said. I should get a t-shirt that said cubic zirconium is not love, okay?
Hashtag that ain't love.
I threw that ring. Boy, he got a verbal lashing at a honey. I said, don't you ever give me no fake cubic zirconium ring. Do I sound like a bitch that wants cubic zirconium?
It ain't right.
Maybe that's all he could do at the moment.
You know what?
Big Barbie.
At least let the shit fit. It's a size 9. I'm a size 10.
True. Very true.
So I say that to say it's about the commitment and the intention. So he did give her a ring. It's a beautiful ring because she showed that off on Instagram too. But no shade. But yeah. So he did give her a ring, Dark Phoenix.
Okay. So good point. Fair point. Just because the ring is a symbol, but what is he really about? Like, is he really about that commitment? It's not just about the symbol, because symbols you can have all kinds of symbols. You can have symbols of wealth and be broke as a joke. So symbols are only as valuable as the truth behind it. Yep. Can I get an amen? No.
Amen.
I have a question for you. I have a question for you though, Big Barbie. So I want to shift gears for a minute because Yummy started this little line of questioning talking about older women putting younger women up on game. But I really want some advice from you as a younger woman. I really want some advice. And tell me if I'm going the wrong way down, Main Street here. How do you get a man to be attracted to you? I really want to know how can you get the man, or say the man that you want to be attracted to you? Are there tips and tricks to get the man you want to, to come to you?
Well, I'm a little bit different, okay? And that's and you know what? I gotta give you kudos. Number one, because for you to ask advice from a younger woman says a lot about your character.
That
means that you are
clueless.
Bitch. You a real bitch because the game can be exchanged because you got to stay updated on what the fuck going on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it can be exchanged. There's too many older women that be like, I don't need no information. No, you do need some information because I'm living in this time.
Right.
I'm in the streets. I'm attuned to it. But I need some information so I can see, is this the same pattern or is this some new shit? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I gotta commend you on that.
Come on.
You
Come
know what I
on.
mean? I gotta give credit.
Take me to school. I'm learning.
But attraction. Some men, well, here's the thing. I think the first thing to keep in mind about trying to attract the men, about the whole topic of attraction, is some men are attracted to different things. Some men love ratchet women. Some men want sophisticated women. Some men want a European woman. Some men want a black woman. Some men want Latino. So attraction, this thing with attraction, some men want body shape. Some men want different, whatever they want.
Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, review, subscribe, and share. It helps other listeners find us. And don't forget to follow us at Yummy Fearless on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and even Pinterest, where you'll find additional content from today's show and also our highly curated He Can Get It list. As always, you can listen to the Yummy and Fearless podcast with the Side Chicks on Apple iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, and Spotify. And if no one else has told you today, we love you and thank you so much for listening.
You've been listening to a podcast of the Podfix Network. Discover more audible gems like this at podfixnetwork.com. Make sure to catch up-to-the-minute network shenanigans by following @Podfix on Twitter, official_Podfix on Instagram, @Podfix Network on Facebook. And make sure to subscribe to Podfix Presents wherever you choose to find podcasts. The Podfix Network, artist owned and loved.